It was a quiet evening at the family dinner, and the restaurant was filled with the sound of soft laughter and the clinking of glasses. The table was long, with the family seated at either end, talking about everything and nothing at all. The atmosphere was warm, but something in the air felt off. As the conversations around the table continued, my older brother, James, stood up. I noticed him, his posture straight and his eyes scanning the room as if preparing for something. A smirk danced on his lips, and I knew immediately that something was coming. My heart raced in my chest. I'd felt something off about him for weeks now. He'd been acting strange, secretive, and now, in front of everyone, he was about to say something big. He cleared his throat, his voice commanding everyone's attention. I sat there, frozen, waiting for him to speak. I knew he was hiding something, but what came next was beyond anything I had expected. I thought everyone would be okay with my decision. I'd been tired of hiding this. She just didn't understand me, but now it's all out in the open. His words hung in the air like a cloud of poison. The room went silent. It was as if the noise of the world had been shut out, and all I could hear was the echo of his voice. Everyone's eyes were on him now, the shock spreading across their faces as his words sank in. I glanced at my mother, who sat there, her eyes wide in disbelief, her hand gripping her glass so tightly her knuckles were turning white. My heart pounded in my chest as I tried to process what he was saying. I looked around the table, seeing my cousins, my aunts, uncles, all of them waiting for what would come next. They had no idea what was about to unfold. I had no idea either. I'd never seen James like this. The confident, charming older brother I had always looked up to was standing before us, ready to shatter everything I thought I knew about him. "What are you talking about?" I heard myself whisper, almost not believing my own words. I looked at him, but his eyes were fixed on the room, his smirk never fading. He was about to drop the bomb, and I could feel it in my bones. I've met someone new, someone who gets me. "Sarah, I know this might hurt, but it's the truth." His words hit like a slap. My stomach twisted, as if I had been punched in the gut. The pain was immediate, overwhelming, and I could feel the heat rising to my face as the weight of what he had just revealed sank in. My mind raced, trying to piece it all together. His voice was steady, almost too steady. This wasn't just a casual confession, it was calculated, deliberate. He was betraying me, our family, everything we stood for. I thought about the years we had spent together, the moments we shared. How could he just tear it all apart like this? But James wasn't done. He went on, oblivious to the damage he was causing, oblivious to the way the room was filling with tension. He didn't care about any of us. All he cared about was himself and his new relationship. I felt my chest tighten as he spoke again. "I've been living with this for a while now, but I thought it was time to finally say it. I'm leaving. I'm not happy, and it's not because of her. It's just time for me to move on. I hope you all understand." My mind went blank. I couldn't focus on anything except the words he was saying. My brother, the one I'd grown up with, the one who was supposed to have my back, was telling me, telling everyone that he was leaving, that he was done with our family. My heart ached as the realization hit. This wasn't just about him and me. This wasn't just a personal issue. This was a family issue, one that would leave scars. I could feel the heat of anger rising within me, but I kept it in check. I couldn't let him see how much it hurt. I couldn't let him see how much he had broken me with his words. "You're not just betraying our trust, James. You're destroying everything we've worked for," I finally managed to say, my voice steady despite the whirlwind of emotions swirling inside me. He looked at me, his eyes narrowing slightly. For a moment, I thought he might back down, but then he just shrugged. He didn't care. He wasn't sorry. He was free, and nothing else mattered. My chest tightened as I struggled to breathe. I wanted to say more, but I didn't know what else to say. The betrayal was so deep, so unexpected, that I couldn't find the right words to express how I felt. I had spent my whole life looking up to James, trusting him, believing that we would always be there for each other. But now here he was, tearing it all apart. And then, as if on cue, someone else stood up. My heart skipped a beat as I saw Daniel, our cousin, quietly standing in the corner of the room. I hadn't even noticed him until now. His expression was calm, too calm for the situation. He had been sitting there watching everything unfold in silence, and I realized then that he knew. He knew what was going on. My stomach twisted as I locked eyes with him. Daniel wasn't just a bystander in this drama. He had been aware of James's betrayal all along. The realization hit me like a thunderclap. James's world was about to crash down on him. He didn't know it yet, but Daniel had been watching, had been listening, and now it was time for him to step in. "You think this is just about Sarah, huh?" Daniel said, his voice calm yet carrying an edge that cut through the tension. "Well, James, you might want to hear what I have to say." The room was silent, all eyes now on Danielle. James's confident smirk faltered, replaced by a look of confusion. He didn't understand what was happening. He didn't understand that the walls he had built around himself were about to come crumbling down. Daniel continued, "I know everything, James. The things you've done, the lies you've told, the people you've hurt. You can't hide anymore." I watched as James's face drained of color. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. He didn't know how to respond, and I could see the panic creeping into his eyes. He knew. He knew that everything was about to be exposed. He tried to recover, but it was too late. The damage was done. The truth was out. The room was still, waiting for the next move, but I didn't need to say anything else. James had already revealed himself, and Daniel had finished the job. The betrayal wasn't just personal anymore. It was public, and there was no going back for him. Daniel stood there, his gaze unwavering, and I felt a sense of victory. Not because I had won, but because the truth had finally come out. James had exposed himself, and now he would have to face the consequences of his actions. I stood up, my heart racing, but a sense of calm washed over me. I was done. I didn't need to say another word. My actions spoke louder than any words ever could. I looked at my mother, who was still in shock, and I gave her a reassuring smile. This was not the end. This was just the beginning. I walked out of the room, my head held high, leaving James behind. The world he had built for himself was falling apart, and there was nothing he could do to stop it. I knew that this moment would change everything for me, for my family, and for James. The truth had been exposed, and nothing would ever be the same again.